Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about chapters, what they are, and how you can start one. So, I'm Enan. I'm the South Florida chapter president right now. And my buddy here, Eshaan, is.
Hi everyone, I'm Eshaan Shaik. I'm the outreach director of EIF, and we're both Ian and I are very excited to really showcase to you and tell you what chapters are and how you can start one.
Okay, I'll take it from here. Eshaan, next slide. Yeah, cool. Okay, so in this lecture, we're going to be covering five specific things. One, the purpose of a local chapter and what it does for equality in forensics. Two, the roles of that chapter and how it mainly functions, how it operates, how it works on a day-to-day basis. Three, the reasons you should start one and why I think they're amazing. Four, how to start a chapter and how to keep consistent progression. And five, just any final thoughts and questions. And like, we're just going to open the floor to see whatever questions that you guys have and things you want to, answer. So then, the big looming question is, what exactly is a local chapter? It's a pretty good question. But, a chapter is basically a localized group of equality and forensics members that basically meet in person. A large part of equality and forensics has been very digital. We're on a Zoom meeting right now with people from all over the country. A chapter is meant to combat that by creating some sort of like local unity. It's basically just a group of members who are like in the same location who operate under equality and forensics. So a good example would be the South Florida chapter that I run. It includes people in the South Florida circuit. We have around 15 members who are in Palm Beach County and Broward County, and we just represent the chapter there. We're a localized group that we see often at tournaments and local areas like that. Same for the Arizona chapter, which basically meets in Arizona. The ultimate purpose of a chapter, then, is to gain more members and grow equality in forensics as an organization. There's three main things that we want to hit. First, you want to build a good sense of community with a chapter. You want to create a group of people that are excited to work together and foster an engaging environment for that local area. I kind of want you to think of it as like an inter-school debate team. You have people from all different schools who are still at the same tournament, at the same circuit and everything. And they're just kind of like a group of people that you can work with, be friends with, and just contact and talk to. And they serve under equality in forensics. Second, we want to hit resource expansion and outreach. A big problem that we have with expanding resources at equality in forensics right now is that everything is purely digital. We're all digital running, we're a digital organization, and it's been hindering our ability to like show our free resources and help our community out. Chapters are combating that. They are local. They can go to tournaments and spread to people and get new members to join and learn about those resources. That's a big part of what chapters want to hit for equality in forensics. And then third, we're kind of like your go-to group chat for a chapter. If someone from your region ever needs help preparing for something or a tournament, well, that chapter is there to help them out, help them with tips, help them with ideas. We all do the same events. We all work together at the tournament. They can help you out if you ever have a question. And the same goes for you. If you have that question, you can ask too. I guess kind of what I want to think of when we think about a chapter, a sort of local community. That's what we want to foster and build. So then, let's talk about a few examples that we've already had. There's three that we have. First, the South Florida chapter that I run. This was the very first chapter. It has already attracted 21 members from 11 different schools in the circuit. Pretty good numbers. Things that we've already done is we've created and distributed free resources to hundreds of students, like a PO cheat sheet. I'm pretty sure we printed like around 70 at Nick. I'm not entirely sure. But we gave that PO cheat sheet out to tons of people in the circuit, and we were done by the end of the day. That resource got to help a lot of people, and we built that good sense of community and helps people out who didn't have access to a PO sheet, which is very important for congressional debates. And third, cake pops. We had a bake sale. We gave those cake pops out and basically had fun at our local tournaments. The Idaho chapter did some pretty cool things too. They actually petitioned against the state circus proposal to limit team participation debate competitions. An issue they were having was that like really experienced teams kept like taking the state qualifications away. So they actually petitioned against that as their chapter and actually got rid of that requirement. Something really cool you can do locally under equality and forensics, just bettering equity, bettering debate. Getting into state policy, that's something we definitely want to encourage and definitely something you can get into. And the Arizona chapter, they attracted 15 members from 4 to 5 different schools in the circuit. They're one of our newer ones. And they already created fundraising opportunities for many people in the community. These are examples of what chapters do, how they work, and all the results that we can get from them. So then, why start a chapter? What's the reason to do it? Mainly four. Equality and forensic chapters are there to provide under-resourced and underrepresented speech and debate programs and provide them with much needed resources. Once again, debate is all about equity, right? There's a lot of low income schools and schools that don't have a lot of resources who are challenged by larger ones who take all the awards, have all the resources, all the coaching, all of that, and it's really unfair. EIF chapters, as they spread free resources and like answer questions and like build a local community, can help everyone from any background, from any school, no matter how big or small a debate program is. We're helping under-resourced communities that need it with these chapters. Second, other than expanding equity, we connect debaters to 1,000+ supportive community. When they join the chapter, they're going to see the main organization, they're going to see the server, they're going to see all of that. And in that, there's a lot of stuff, good stuff there. I mean, we host tournaments, we have coaching labs, we have all of these resources that we connect people to so they can better themselves in their debate career that they have and their entire story of high school debates. Third, we make speech and debate much more accessible for low-income debaters by providing free resources. Once again, a lot of resources are expensive for schools, and mostly of the time, the rich programs win it. So by providing free resources under the chapter, we get rid of this issue. And finally, you also can get service hours for doing chapter work. Equality in Forensics recently got certification for the President's Volunteer Service Award, a very big award that you can put if you get hours. So when you do chapter work, you're doing work for the community, and we're approved to give you hours for that. So that's also a very cool thing you can do if you join a chapter and start one. Seems like a lot. So then, who actually leads and runs these local chapters? Our chapters have already followed a certain order of leadership, and they're going to continue to follow that as our board of directors created. There's three main roles. First is the president of the chapter. They're in charge of the overall chapter management, and they're the middleman between the national team and the chapter team. The chapter team that has the president, vice president, secretary, work with the chapter, do events, do all of those local work, and the national team communicates with them oftentimes to share goals, share agendas, and share all of their future outlooks and ideas. Second, you have the vice president. They assist the president in the execution of their duties. And if the president is unavailable, they assume the duties of the president. They are a very essential asset of working the equality and forensics thing. Once again, it is a group of friends, but it's also a very serious job organizing everything. So that vice president is a very essential role. And third, the secretary. They assist in the administration of the chapter. They're going to record and manage records of chapter membership. They're going to lead and conduct outreach options for the entire chapter. They take rid of all the managerial stuff, all the documents, all of that. That's the secretary's role. So for actually becoming one of these roles, the selection process is pretty simple. When you start a chapter, the board of directors is going to select leadership after an application process, after tons of interviews. But after that, when the chapter is already set and everything's ready, it becomes democratic. People in the chapter vote for the next president, vote for the next vice president, and vote for the next secretary. We're starting the ball rolling by electing a few people who have already taken certain initiative, and from there, we'll let the chapter decide. We're kind of building a democratic view there. So then, let's talk about starting chapters and the actual progression of that. The requirements to actually starting one are pretty simple and pretty short. You need at least 6 interested members to start a chapter in your area. Once you have that group of people who are ready to serve and help the chapter, you can contact one of the board of directors. You can contact Sean, Nick, CJ, just anyone there, and they can refer you to the right person to get that ball rolling and get the chapter starting to work. Second, you're going to need to create a WhatsApp GC with all the members and directors. Once again, a chapter is all about local communication. It's all about talking with your friends, talking with your community. We decided that WhatsApp was the best way to host it on, so we need that group chat to start getting growth and start contacting people. And then third, just simply create a basic outline of your outreach plans. This is going to include your future goals, which you guys are wanting to do for your chapter, what things you like, and basically all of that. Big emphasis on the fact that chapters are run by you. It's your thing. It's what you want to do locally, and just take your name under the brand of equality and forensics. But it's all about building your sense of community. So whatever outreach plans you have, whatever agendas that you have, we want you to work with it. We want you to work on it and make it creative for yourself. And equality and forensics will help with everything like resource gathering and all of that. So then I'm going to give it to my friend Eshaan here to continue.
Hey, Enan, thank you. So at this point in this presentation, you're probably like, oh, chapters, nice. I want to start one. So what do you do right after you start one or right after you join one? So what do we expect? Chapters are essentially like a speech and debate team. Whether you want to hang out with debaters or you need specific resources or you want to meet up at the next local tournament, the answer would be the chapter. And it's up to the chapter leadership themselves to really facilitate those basic needs, especially when it comes to the WhatsApp GC or trying to create that engaging and meaningful community. So there are mainly 5 key ways in which we're going to create and address this and actually have chapter progression that's consistent in the future. The first way is to make the WhatsApp GC fun and useful, whether it be encouraging casual conversation or sharing resources or using this place to answer any of the questions you have. And it's amazing for meeting new people, especially when it comes to like your state and national circuits. It's crucial in meeting people who are willing to help you, and creating that meaningful community is exactly what we want to see from a chapter. Furthermore, when it comes to chapter leadership, leaders are there to create and actively spontaneously support this activity. And that's exactly what we like to see. The second way is to like get online events and get-togethers going, whether it be prep sessions or topic docket discussions or chatting on calls and VCs or playing games like Among Us, where obviously backstabbing is the best team bonding. Leaders need to regularly build that team spirit and honestly just have a good time with your team members. Because once again, like Enan and I have consistently been telling you, chapter members help make good friends. Finally, not finally, but three, promoting the chapter at competitions and finding new members. This is perhaps one of the most crucial aspects of chapters. It's definitely trying to expand the chapter outreach through under-resourced and underrepresented debate programs across your local region. Especially, specifically in my case, in McKinney, Texas, we didn't have many resources. But when we were able to contact with other schools in my district, we were able to create that community. And that's a community that we want to create with equality in forensics and provide the resources to these very debaters. Whether we're recommending the chapters to competitors or handing out flyers like the South Florida chapter has already done at their local tournaments, and obviously handing out food since that works amazing. So leaders are essentially our grassroots connections. They are the people who initiate people to outreach to others and create that meaningful community. 4, post-tournament get-togethers. Obviously, after every single tournament, it's going to be exhausting and you want to meet up and talk with your friends. That's where chapter post-tournaments are going to be. It's to essentially meet your community in person and have a great time with them after any type of tournament. Because understand, chapters are all about community and friendship. Essentially, leaders are in charge of organizing these events and demonstrating that the chapters are cool, fun, and useful for everyone. Finally, running in-person events. I like to preface that this is a long-term goal that we don't expect any chapter like at this moment to really utilize or accomplish. Whether it be like creating clothing drives for people or tech drives or in-person team coaching, these are like advanced level like resources that we want to give to under-resourced debaters. And at this moment, it's all right if you cannot do that, but leaders can actually facilitate this by directly impacting and benefiting underprivileged debaters through outreach at this moment. So, chapter progression and its general summary. What do we expect from chapter progression? We expect this one key thing, that we want to create a meaningful and inviting community for everyone in the local region and helping anyone who actually joins that chapter. So, what do we expect from leadership when it comes to responsibilities? Chapter leadership needs to meet monthly with me, the outreach director, to discuss plans and keep the ball rolling, because obviously we don't want to have stagnant chapters and not being able to help people. 2, we want a monthly general meeting for the chapter. All chapter members are welcome to join, discuss chapter activities, and just have fun. And that's all what a community is about. And finally, organizing chapter activities. This chapter is yours to run. Get creative and find your own initiative in which you find is important in your community, since chapters are all about helping the local debaters in your region. So, how do you join your local chapter and what are they at the moment? Currently, we only have 3 verified chapters, which is the South Florida chapter, Arizona chapter, and Colorado chapter. These are the chapters that have already decided leadership. And when it comes to like electing leadership, you'll have to wait for the next session when you'll be able to democratically elect who you want to be as a chapter leader. But for all those in black text, those are only the chapters that are currently being formed, and chapter leadership hasn't been created or established yet. So if you don't have a chapter in your region yet, just contact me at s.eshaan06@gmail.com and I'll be able to help get the ball rolling. So, questions.